What is going on, Misfit Nation? Welcome back to another episode of the Misfit Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Matt, the Misfit. This is your Monday Night Raw review for July the 1st, 2024. The final Raw before Money in the Bank, which takes place on Saturday. So this coming Saturday, alongside with Heat Wave on Sunday night. We're going to talk mainly about Monday Night Raw and things that are going to go on to Money in the Bank. And some ideas that I have floating around here. There's one prediction that I got that's sort of out there, but it makes a lot of sense. We're going to go over that much more, including what the Wyatt Sicks had to say tonight, and what is their mission statement. We finally got an answer about their mission statement of why they're here. We're going to talk about that and much more. Please hit that like button, comment down below, hit the subscribe button, youtube.com/@Misfit Wrestling Podcast. Follow the social medias, Pile Driver Pulse on Twitter, Misfit Wrestling Pod on Instagram. You can also find the audio outlets that we always have had, which are always Spotify, Pandora, Amazon, and iHeartRadio, and Audible.com. I forgot to mention Audible yesterday, because yesterday, earlier this morning, actually dropped the Pile Driver Pulse, which we went over Forbidden Door, stuff that's going on with Marigold, Stardom, a lot of stuff that I haven't even gotten into, wasn't able to get into the past few weeks, the Uncle Howdy stuff, all that stuff. All that is up on the the other audio versions, excluding YouTube and all of that jazz. Monday Night Raw sold out in Boston, Massachusetts, in the TD Garden. We opened up with we saw Michael Cole and Corey Graves to try to mix both of them together. Corey Graves filled in for Pat McAfee, who was out this week. We found out Pat McAfee will be back next week. And again, we know Michael Cole and Corey Graves will be the commentary team probably for Money in the Bank if they have Wade Barrett out there, which I would love to see Wade Barrett on the commentary booth for Money in the Bank. Well, we had Jey Uso come out, welcomes the fans to Monday Night Raw, says Money in the Bank is coming up on Saturday. He's he says he'll be the one to secure the briefcase for a future championship title shot. He calls it the Money in the Bank, which is fucking stupid. Chad Gable's music hits. He comes out. He makes his way down to the ring. Says that when you look up the word miracle, because he says eat's not a word, it doesn't exist. He says that the word miracle in the dictionary, if you look it up, there's a picture of him. He says he's overcome a lot as of late and overcome much adversity between being attacked by the Wyatts and losing the Alpha Academy family. He insists that he's not scared of the Wyatts. It says Jay's family, or it says his family left him high and dry. Chad then says, the Wyatt Sicks should be after you, Jay, because you abandoned your family. And Jay had this look on his face like, what'd you say? Jay then said told the Wyatts that they could have the Fireflies back. They said, I can have some grasshoppers or mosquitoes or moths or whatever, but I don't want no smoke with them, is what he said. Called Gable a manipulative scumbag. Gable and Jay started brawling in the ring. Jay lands a series of red hands, follows that up with a super kick, gets ready to set up the Uso splash. Gable rolls out of the ring before Jay can land it, and then the lights start going out for the Wyatt Sicks. We hear that chord from the Shadow music, and the smoke filling the arena here. Gable hops over the barricade. He runs into first Joe Gacy, who is on the left side of the stage, looks like he's holding up his arm against his face. He's getting ready to go through the curtain. There stands Eric Rowan, who is wielding the mallet, and then he tries to leave to the other side, and Dexter Lumis is there waiting for him. Which I kind of like to me that Lumis had something in his hand, but I'm not entirely sure. While this is going on, Nikki Cross comes from underneath the ring, hands Michael Cole another box similar to the one from last week that had another tape in it that said "Play Me." Michael Cole, I love the reference to Carrie, which I think is pretty good. A lot of things I see in the new Nikki Cross character reminds me of Carrie, Kyoko from The Grudge, and Sadako from The Ring. So I think that's pretty cool here. He hands it off to the production crew, basically to try to get it to be played a little bit later on in the show. Then we have Karrion Kross versus Xavier Woods. This match is not very good. Karrion Kross is just boring as fuck. Kross loses via roll-up because that's what he does. Woods beats him via roll-up. After the match, Akam and Razor blindside the New Day. In the ring, they beat them down. Akam beats down Woods on the outside. Kingston low bridges Razor out of the ring. Kingston looks to fly, but Kross intercepts him, hit with a cross hammer. Authors of Pain send Woods crashing to the barricade, and Kross locks in an arm submission. Looks like a nerve hold or something onto Kofi Kingston, and they're standing tall. Whatever, I don't care. To me, the Wyatt Sicks is what WWE thinks. Unfortunately, Triple H thinks the final testament is. We see World Heavyweight Champion Damian Priest walking alongside Dominic Mysterio outside the Judgment Day's locker room, where Priest tells Dominic that Rhea Ripley is enraged over Dominic's and Liv Morgan's quote-unquote relationship. Dom promises to do something about Morgan. The two enter the Judgment Day's locker room, finds Liv Morgan inside. Morgan leaves, and Finn Balor gets into the dispute with Priest and basically says, ever since you won that world championship, you've not been the same. You've been different. Liv helped us win the tag team titles back into the Judgment Day and whatnot. So, just planting seeds there for the eventual turn on from Finn Balor on Damian Priest. We've seen a video package honoring the late Sika Anawahi, who passed away on Wednesday. The father, of course, of Roman Reigns. So thoughts and prayers to go out to the Anawahi family. And oh man, I can't wait to talk about that segment a little bit because that was brought up on there. That was phenomenal. I did talk about that segment, right? Yeah, I did. I talked about that segment on Pile Driver Pulse. We'll listen to it. Boy, when Roman Reigns comes back, it's gonna be great here. Liv Morgan defends the Women's World Championship against Zelina Vega. This match was fine. Was decent at best here. Morgan lands a kick on Vega. I'm paraphrasing near the end of the match here. Liv Morgan lands a kick on Zelina Vega. Then sits her on the top rope. Vega lands a sunset flip powerbomb on Liv Morgan. Looks to pin her. Morgan rolls out of the ring before she can do such a thing. Morgan dumps Vega back inside the ring as Ray and Dominic come out to, I guess, even the odds here. Ray strikes Dominic, but Morgan lands a baseball slide onto I almost said Finn Balor too. Rey Mysterio. Zelina Vega dials up the 6-1, signs up for 619, lands a tornado DDT on here for a near fall onto Liv Morgan. Dominic then slides into steer chair to help Vega win the match, but Vega opts out to not really use the chair and hits Dominic with it. Liv takes advantage and lands the Oblivion onto for Vega for the win and retain the championship. I still find it weird that Liv Morgan, who people complained about Rhea Ripley's title run, Liv Morgan's basically doing the exact same thing that Rhea Ripley was doing, just not very good. So, and this is outside of the rematch of the steel cage match. This is the first time Liv Morgan has defended the championship since the steel cage match or Raw after she won the title from Becky. So, what I think is going to happen, and I'll talk about that a little bit later on, because I have some ideas floating around for that as well. After post-match, we've seen Kathy Kelly join Liv Morgan on the stage. Morgan says she dedicates her win to, and all her future wins to Dominic Mysterio. Seth Rollins comes out, who is looking great as always. He welcomes fans to Monday Night Rollins, introduces himself and points out some confetti raining down from the ceiling. He says it's a premature celebration for him, dethroning Damian Priest as the World Heavyweight Champion at Money in the Bank. Says Boston's only champion. I must try to make this as a heel promo here. Says Boston is a championship city. He says he needs to win back the World Heavyweight Championship, and says he can't settle for second best. He says that the thing about him is he's the best when the pressure's on him, which is true. Then Balor comes out, makes his way to the ring. He says he demands fans to say hello to one half of the new WWE World Tag Team Champions. Says that he should be in a good mood, but he's not. Says that he's in a real bad mood because everything seems to be changing on Raw, including what it means to be in the Judgment Day and Damian Priest. He blames Rollins for all the change, and Rollins tells Balor to be quiet, says Priest is his own man, and then says he thinks Balor is jealous of Priest because he's the World Heavyweight Champion and not him. Just basically what's happening here. Priest comes out, marches to the ring. Rollins says Priest and Balor are looking to trap him, but Priest denies that is the case here. Says that he came down because he didn't need someone handling his business. Then says the issues between him and Rollins are just between them. Then he tells Rollins, the Priest does, that his days of running Raw are numbered. Rollins says he and Priest don't have to wait till Saturday. Balor looks to clock Rollins. Rollins sees it coming. Balor then attacks Rollins. Priest pulls Balor off for Rollins, and they start going back here. Balor gets hit with a curb stomp. Priest catches Rollins with the South of Heaven, then checks on Balor and helps him up. So, again, just planting the seeds here. I do think that Seth Rollins is winning the championship back. How we get there, there's two different ways that we're going to get here. They may not do the swerve here yet, because my other theory is what they're going to do with Drew McIntyre, and I'll talk about that when we get to Drew McIntyre here. Something a lot of people were not very happy about was the Dakota Kai, Zoey Stark, Ivy Nile Triple Threat qualifier match. Basically here, everyone in this match, everyone here seemed to be very into the idea of people wanted Dakota Kai, and we didn't get Dakota Kai. Zoey Stark was not working for me or anybody else. She just exists on the main roster. Sure, I guess pairing her with Shayna Baszler was fine, and Trish Stratus, but what has she done since the Trish Stratus thing? Nothing. And Shayna Baszler isn't the same Shayna Baszler that she was in NXT. So, I don't care about Zoey Stark at all. Zoey Stark just exists, like I said, and just, send her back to NXT. She should have never been, she was not ready to get called up from NXT. I'm going to be honest with you. She has the charisma, she has the personality of a fucking vacuum cleaner. I mean, she's fine in the ring, but that's about it. But people were pissed. I was pissed. I was one of them here. As of right now, Io Sky is the only. Io Sky, if I'm being completely honest here, and I don't blame Triple H for pushing EO, because EO should feel like the most important member of the group outside of Kairi Sane, and they should all feel important. But Io Sky is the former champion, so you might as well do something here. So then we get to probably my favorite segment on the show, like it was last week. Michael Cole throws it over to the tape that we had got from the Wyatt Sicks. Bo Dallas asks Uncle Howdy, why are we still doing this? Why are we keep doing this? And Howdy asks Bo if he thinks he's special. Bo Dallas says that being special would imply that others are not. He says there are the ones who I guess they're above everyone else and whatnot. Here says that there are ones who want to be forgotten about and abandoned, but we made them notice. Dallas tells Uncle Howdy that they've become a family, that being him, Kross, Joe Gacy, Loomis, and Rowan. And says it's disgusting how false prophets are using their family for their gain. He says it's disgusting. He calls it disgusting, and both he and Uncle Howdy say they'll set them free. They say they made the Wyatt Sicks family. The video tape cuts away and Uncle Howdy and Bo Dallas are gone. Uncle Howdy's gone. Bo Dallas says he set the Wyatt Sicks free, and the camera pans to see are basically talking in the Firefly Funhouse. So this right here was one of my favorite things on the show here. This to me should end the discussions of Bo Dallas and Uncle Howdy being two different people and being a split personality. They're one and the same, which is why Nikki Cross is Sister Abigail. Eric Rowan is Ramblin' Rabbit. Mercy the Buzzard is Dexter DeLumis, all that stuff. So, but again, this thing is so far so good. I've not been bored with any of the stuff that they've been doing so far, which is a good sign. I would love to see them attack somebody next. Like, we actually see it happen. The only downside to this was I was hoping that they would have another interview with somebody else, like Nikki Cross or something. But I think it's gonna come eventually to that. But I'm gonna let it play out here. Because then we see Chad Gable tell Otis that if the Wyatt Sicks come after him, Maxine Dupree, Akira, and I guess Otis, since he'll have his back here. So it's clear to say they're coming after Chad Gable right now. So will they do the Wyatt Sicks versus the Alpha Academy at SummerSlam? Who knows? We'll see. Next up, though, we got Dominic Mysterio versus Rey Mysterio, because we need to see this match again. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't give a shit about this match here. I really do not. Rey cock blocks his son. Liv cost Dominic the match here. 619. Whew. A splash on the apron for the win. I don't care about this here. But what I do care about is who is Liv Morgan going to face at SummerSlam. So the ideal scenario right now is for Rhea Ripley to come back and be the one to face Liv at SummerSlam. But my question is, what do you do if Rhea's not medically cleared to come back yet? Well, she's coming back. Obviously, Rhea is, but another person is coming back very, very soon. That being one Becky Lynch. And I know people are be like, oh God, they're going to go back to the Becky Lynch well again. I'm like, I'm sorry. Other than maybe Lyra Valkyria or maybe Io Sky, there is no one else on the roster, on Raw roster rather, that's built up enough to face Liv Morgan right now. And we don't even know if Io Sky is going to what role she's going to become SummerSlam, whether she could be a babyface or heel. We don't know. But I can see them going back to the Becky well if Rhea is not 100% for SummerSlam. So there's that. Liv Morgan tries to beg Dominic for forgiveness here. We got our final promo of the show. Sami Zayn doing his shtick here, basically, saying, I'm going to win this match here on Saturday against Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker, they can go back at it, back and forth here. Sammy asks Breaker if he knows how many guys have said that they'll break him in half, and says he put himself back together each time. Says his title is proof of such, and he says that Braun Breaker tells Braun to bring his best. He says he thinks Braun hasn't done his homework and says he'll see Braun at Money in the Bank. Braun looks to leave. Spears Sammy. He tries to do another spear here, and Zayn cuts him off here, sending him into the thing here. We see the exploder, looks for the Helluva Kick, and then gets speared out of his boots, and holds the Intercontinental Championship above his head, closing that segment here. So they may drop the towel to do Braun Breaker. I don't know. We'll see on that end, but overall, that was a great segment. I enjoyed that. Main event, the final spot in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match: Drew McIntyre, Ilya Dragunov, Sheamus, triple threat qualifier match. This match was awesome. Okay, I knew this match was going to be awesome here. So we go at one point. So we go from back. I'm just going to skim through this match and go through the break that happened here. Dragunov delivers a superplex to McIntyre and Sheamus. Dragunov connects with a Constantine special onto Sheamus, but McIntyre sets up for a Claymore kick on Dragunov. Dragunov sees McIntyre coming, lands an H-bomb, looks for the pin. McIntyre rolls out of the ring before he can. Dragunov ascends to the top rope here, looks to fly to level Sheamus. Sheamus intercepts with a knee to the midair, delivers a bro kick to Dragunov, pins him. McIntyre pulls Dragunov out of the ring to break the pinfall, dumps him into the timekeeper's area. Then Sheamus joins Sheamus in the ring. The pair do their strike stuff, body slam onto McIntyre from Sheamus. He delivers the 10 beat to the Bodrum and sets up the bro kick. McIntyre counters with the roll up. Sheamus kicks out. McIntyre lands a Claymore kick for the win onto Sheamus, and McIntyre is going to Money in the Bank. After the match, Kathy Kelly joins McIntyre in the ring. McIntyre promises to walk out of Money in the Bank as World Heavyweight Champion as the show goes off the air. What I think is going to happen here, I said this about the Money in the Bank stuff here. I think Drew McIntyre is winning Money in the Bank. And I think we're going to have the first ever failed cash-in in this first ever same night failed cash-in. And what I mean by that is Drew McIntyre is going to win Money in the Bank. They're going to open the show with the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Drew McIntyre is going to win. And then in the main event, which is going to be, it should be Priest and Seth Rollins. Drew is going to come out, cash in. Match becomes a triple threat match. Sure, the things happen. Like we get a couple minutes of it, and as soon as Drew goes for the cover or goes for a Claymore kick, CM Punk comes out and yet again costs Drew McIntyre the World Heavyweight Championship. Then we get to Raw tomorrow, next week, and we open up with a brawl between the two. We find out that CM Punk is cleared, and we get the match made official for SummerSlam in Cleveland. CM Punk, Drew McIntyre. The story is set up perfectly. Drew McIntyre winning Money in the Bank and losing the cash in the same night makes perfect sense. I've been saying this for a couple weeks now. If they're going to put Drew McIntyre in the Money in the Bank ladder match, I think I said last week, that Drew McIntyre should win Money in the Bank and then lose the cash in the same night. I know people are like, well, that's a waste of the cash in. I'm like, not really. It's part of it's a story that they're trying to tell here. So that is what I think is going to happen. I'm very excited to see where it happens here. But overall, Monday Night Raw was a very good show, very enjoyable show, I thought. Raw for the past few weeks has been actually excellent stuff. Last week's week of television was unbelievable. And then the week before was unbelievable stuff here. Where is SmackDown? Oh, SmackDown's in Toronto this week. So SmackDown, we got DIY challenging the tag team champions, Waller and Theory. And I believe there was another match announced, but I don't remember what it is at this very moment in time here. Next week, we found out that Damage Control, which is something I forgot to mention here, Damage Control did a backstage interview, getting dire stuff, and then we see Lyra and Valkyria try to get in their face. You see Katan, Chance, and Kate Carter blindside Damage Control. So we're going to have Damage Control versus Lyra and the Party Poopers. Maybe they win. They should win because Io's got what the fuck match? The match with Utami next weekend. So yeah. And I believe there was another match announced. Oh yes, that's right. Jey Uso versus Chad Gable was announced for next week as well. So other than that, yeah, there was something very much to add here for Monday Night Raw. Again, like I said, very enjoyable show for what it was here. The best thing on the show currently right now is the Wyatt Sicks stuff. The slow, not drawn out, but build to what they're eventually going to do is great. Don't overdo it like you did with Bray Wyatt. That's the one thing, and I love Bray, God rest his soul, but one of the things that kind of annoyed me with the Bray Wyatt character was that they'd have the story and they would rush it because they just couldn't help themselves here. It seems like they have a plan here for the Wyatt Sicks. Do not stray away from it. Keep it as it is, and you should be good to go. So that's all I gotta say about that. Other than that, I've been Matt the Misfit. This has been the Misfit Wrestling Podcast. I will see you back here for Friday Night SmackDown. Yes, I said Friday Night SmackDown. You heard me correctly. I didn't say AEW Dynamite. AEW Dynamite is going to remain on the Sunday show. So that's going to be part of the Pile Driver Pulse on Sundays because I just don't have the heart or the passion to cover AEW on the channel anymore because, for one, like I said, they don't do views for me. The Joshi stuff, the New Japan stuff, and even WWE does more views for me than AEW Dynamite. Probably the most viewed Dynamite episode I did was the unfortunate episode where I think it was the day after Jay Briscoe passed away, which sucks that it had to be that way, but no. But yeah, we got this. So the schedule for this coming week, obviously, is going to be Friday Night SmackDown on Friday. We have the Money in the Bank post show, which is going to be on the channel as well. I may or may not go live for not live, but do a review on Heat Wave. I'll let you guys know on that whether or not I'm going to do one or not. I'll let you know on maybe that night. I don't know. While the show's on, I'll let you guys know. And then the following weekend, we have a big show there. We have Maria Gold's Swimmer Destiny show, which we'll find out whether or not Julia is going to be medically cleared to have her match with Saray. And we'll find out if Julia shows up on a Heat Wave to challenge Roxanne. And then the dream match between Utami and Io Shirai, as well as possibly Kairi Sane showing up on that show. So a lot of things to look forward to this weekend. So, yeah. I'm at the Misfit. This is Misfit Wrestling Podcast. Until then, we're out.